So I've had this leak for a while now. It's an oil leak from the oil level sensor on a 2010 Audi A3. I've replaced the oil level sensor with an original equipment one. You can tell, what is it, Bear Hell is the original equipment, the actual manufacturer, but what they do is they mill out the Volkswagen Audi logo on these, and I cleaned this up a few times. I checked, I'm not getting any oil leaking from the actual contacts for the connector. I'm not getting an oil leak around the outside seal. The oil leak, what I believe, is actually coming from where the aluminum housing attaches to the plastic housing. So I'm going to give something a try. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to clean it up really good and seal it with some silicone sealant around those edges, just to try to see if maybe that's what it is. It's just a small little seal leak from the aluminum where it meets the plastic. So I think this is happening on a lot of cars, and it's just a nuisance because you get a small oil drip on the driveway. You'll notice it more during the summertime when the parts are probably a lot warmer. The aluminum's probably contracting even more. And right now, since the last oil, well, actually no, this isn't since the last oil change. This is since the last time I had removed the belly pan, which was to do a heater core flush. And what has it been? 5,000 miles. You can tell, you know, there's just too much oil should be leaking from that little housing. So I'm going to remove it, seal it, and see if that works. If not, I'll have to buy one of these, buy a genuine one without that mark. I don't know if maybe when this is getting clamped in a fixture to have those marks machined off, maybe that's actually breaking the seal. That's my best guess right now. But okay, I'm going to try to give this a shot. So, I removed the sensor, the oil level sensor. It's all cleaned up. Hella is the original equipment brand. It even says made in Germany. They machine out the marks that say Volkswagen Audi Group. And so my theory is it's not leaking from the gasket. That's my theory, because I looked inside here in these trays and there wasn't a whole lot of oil in there. If it was leaking from there, these would be filled up to the top, and they're not. Right now I just have some brake clean in there. And I noticed something peculiar when I was spraying this. So I'm going to take some brake clean, and I don't know if you're able to see it, but no, not on that side. Not on that side. Oh, there it is. It happened so quickly. I believe the leak is actually coming from between here. So let me spray this again. Yep. I can see oil dripping out of that seam. So this is a new oil sensor, so I'm not going to go buy a new one. What I'm going to do is try to clean up this seam and put some silicone sealant that goes on the trays, the oil pans and the timing covers, and I'm going to try to see if that seals this up. So if anybody's wondering, I mean, they say sometimes you can get an oil leak through the connector. It's not that. I don't believe I'm getting an oil leak from this O-ring, because these trays would have been filled up. I mean, was this wet? Yes, but these little trays weren't even filled up. If it was leaking, those would have been filled up, and it would have been pouring oil over the edges. And I haven't removed this since the last oil change. So what I believe is, yep, here, you can see right here, there's oil seeping out of the attachment between this aluminum piece and that. If I have an old one, I'll try to open it up, but I'm going to try to seal that up with some silicone. I don't know if it's under pressure. Maybe it's under pressure, but because it's part of the, there's a little sensors right in there. Oil, I think, floats down to a certain point, and it's probably dripping further than it's supposed to. Too bad. Okay. Okay, so it's definitely leaking through this seam between the aluminum and the plastic. The way I know that was, first we sprayed to check and see if it was, any oil was seeping out of here, which it is. And now, when I blow, watch this, blowing, blowing. That's all sealed on that side. Now watch this side. You'll start to see some oil seep through. See the oil coming out of there? Yep. So the oil is definitely seeping out of that seam in between. Now, I don't know if this affects all of these that are by Hella. I'll double check where I purchased this. I'll double check, but I'm going to contact them again and say, hey, it was leaking since the beginning, because I even followed up and said, hey, this oil level sensor is leaking, what's going on here? And then they tried to, I think whoever the company was that I bought it from, they tried to deflect that and say, oh, it's probably leaking from the O-ring where it attaches on the oil pan. It's not leaking from there. It's leaking from outside this aluminum and plastic seal. So